Hey y'all, I'm Pam with 44 Marketplace. And if today's your first visit to my channel, thanks so much for tuning in. I'm glad you're here. Please take a minute to subscribe and click the bell so you'll be notified each time I upload a video. If you like my videos, give me a thumbs up. And keep in mind, I try to put a material list in the comments below each one of the videos. If I missed something, please let me know. Okay, let's get started.
And I am going to show you how we're going to update this cute little simple nightstand. It does have some little curves and some beautiful little little things, but it's not as pretty as I'd like for it to be. So tonight we are going to use Woodubend molding. And I know you guys have seen a lot of people using it, and I had hoped to get to use it before now, but it's been kind of crazy. Those of you who have reached out to me this past week, thank you very much. And I'm sorry that I look like I've been riding in a truck for 8 hours, but I have been riding in a truck for 8 hours back from, we drove as far as Mississippi last night, and we got back in from Texas today. Okay, hey Mert, hey Kimberly. All right, I know you hear my heat gun in the background, but I'm gonna kind of give you some background on what we're gonna be doing to this. I don't know if you guys can see, but this has some cute little details. Let's see if I can pick it up. It has some little curves and lines and everything, but not enough. So there we go. Hey, Solly. All right, so I'm going to show you how I do this, and you guys are welcome to do it any way you want to. A little secret, I do have my heat gun plugged up and running so that I can attach these, but the secret is my Woodubend is laying on my griddle so that it's warm and ready for me to apply. And I'm going to show you what I did to get to where I am now before we apply them. Okay, let me grab it. All right. Always, always, always heat your Woodubend up, because even though you think this is pretty flat, it's not. I don't care what you're putting it on, it's not. It's not flat. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to have one of these on either side of the drawer. And I am that person, because I used to be a programmer. I like for things to kind of be sort of straight. You can eyeball it if you want to, but I get these little tape measures for $1 at the Dollar Tree. So I have them in my aprons and everything, and I've already measured this out. I know what it's going to be, but I wanted to show you guys how I go about doing it. I kind of eyeball where I want it to be. I've already got my hardware in from D. Lawless Hardware. I don't know what you guys think of that, but I'm in love with it. It's fabulous. And so I'm going to have that cute little hardware in between two of these. I went ahead and I measured. And if you'll use a watercolor pencil when you mark your spaces, when you paint over it with water-based paint, guess what happens to it? It disappears. Isn't that great? Or as my grandson says, it wisappears. So if you'll use a watercolor pencil when you're marking your little things, then even if your Woodubend doesn't cover it up, or if you're drawing something out, if you don't cover it up with something dark, it still disappears because it's a watercolor pencil. So Prima makes great watercolor pencils, but I had mine before Prima had theirs. So these are not actually Prima, but when I get my next ones, they will be Prima. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I've already marked this one out, but I'm going to mark this one out so you guys can see my thought process behind it. Okay? Oh, thank you, Judy. That is so sweet. I want y'all to know I can never thank y'all enough. I got 3 more cards in the mail when we got home today, and y'all have no idea how much I appreciate it. I show them to all of my family, and that way everybody knows your thoughts and prayers are with us. All right, so what I'm going to do is, you have to take one for each side, and I've already got my tape out because I know how big these drawers are, and I know kind of where I want it to be. So I'm going to measure it out. There's my pencil. All right, the first one we want to be here. All right, that's that distance. That one needs to be up slightly. Make sure we're still where we need to be. And I like to kind of trace it out a little bit on my piece. That way when I lay it on here, it won't tilt or anything. And even after I do it, I eyeball it to make sure. But if you'll kind of trace out your piece, then you can make sure on a curvy piece like this, it's real easy for it to turn on you. And then sometimes, then you got a whole thing. So So see, you can see can you guys see the lines that I drew? I kind of drew it out so I know exactly where it needs to go. Now I'm going to throw this back on my griddle, and we're going to get the other side. You just want to make sure that your pieces stay warm and pliable while you're monkeying around with it. That way when you get ready to glue these suckers on, it's easy. All right, move that over. That's right. Height-wise. Yes. Width-wise. Okay. All right. And again, like I say, watercolor pencils are your friend because they disappear when you put your water-based products on here. And it makes it so much easier to know where they need to be. And while these are warm, they're real easy to reposition. We're going to use our Titebond glue, our wood glue on here. So, yes, I keep them on an electric griddle. It works like magic. It keeps them nice and pliable, and that's all I need to mess around with them is for them to be pliable. Plus, if you're as indecisive as I am terribly indecisive. So, a lot of times, I want to change my mind. And I put a bunch of them on my griddle, actually as many as my griddle can hold. That way, if I change my mind, I've already got something warm that I can put on here. Because that's just me. If you follow me, you know how I am. All right, so we're going to rock and roll with this. We're going to take one that's nice and warm. Everybody's asking, what kind of glue do I use? There is my glue. It is Titebond. I sell it. A lot of the retailers sell it now, and this is what I like to use. If you guys have tried Woodubend before, I would love, love, love to know what you put it on, because this stuff is the bomb diggity. I got to find a paper towel. Hang tight 1 second, guys. I thought I had everything over here, but not to be. You know, when you've been riding all day, sometimes you're not exactly as ready as you thought. All right, so I use my fingers and just kind of rub it all over, because even though it is still warm, it's not too warm to touch. I mean, I don't have it so hot that I can't stand it. Plus, I like to blot it. Sometimes I get a little crazy with the glue. I don't know about you guys, but I get a little crazy with this glue. So I like to have enough on here that it's tacky and let it go with that. Now we're going to grab our heat gun, because I'm telling you, the key is heating this up while you're attaching it, because it starts the drying and the adhesion process, and boom. Yes, a warm griddle makes them super easy to deal with. Super, super, super easy to deal with. We're going to grab this and not grab it on the hot end. All right, so we're going to stick this up here, and you do not need, well, of course I'm going to get it all over the piece because I'm right here in front of everybody. You do not need tape or anything to hold it. Just take your fingers, push it up there, and let it start tacking up. It tacks up almost immediately. All right? And then I'm going to take a little baby wipe. Oh, they're empty. And I'm going to wipe around this because I don't want this glue to dry on here. There we go. I don't have a baby wipe, but I do have a damp paper towel. All right. So now I'm going to put this back up here, and you just want it to tack up good. Okay? So press on it, heat it up, press on it, heat it up. And that starts your drying and your tacking process. So if you guys are nervous about it, don't be scared. It's great. And it does make it so it's bendable. So I'll give you a little secret. If you cut it a little short, stretch it a little. It works like you can't imagine. I mean, it works like crazy. Because this is Woodubend. It bends around so well. I don't know if you guys saw the picture of the piece that Henry did during boot camp, but he was missing some of his detail. We actually we heated this up, cut it with scissors, and replaced part of his detail with it. Oh my gosh, it just was super easy to do. All right, so now that is already tacking up. We're going to do the other side. I got to get up again because I didn't drag my table over here close enough. All right, again with the glue. Like I say, you would rather have enough glue than too little. So sometimes I do go a little crazy with the glue, but that's why I keep my paper towel here to wipe my fingers and the piece off. I like to just get the excess off before I attach it. And you guys can see nothing hard about this. It's super, super easy to do. And this piece is great. It just lacks a little bit of that, you know, wow factor. So what we're going to do tonight is give it that wow factor. And I don't know if you guys have tried this stuff, but this stuff is great. See how it just bends in my hand? It's amazing. All right, so we're gonna stick this up here, back in our lines, grab our gun again, by the side that's not hot. All right. Get it back in the lines. Come on, there we go. All right. There we go. Now press and heat. Press and heat. That is your friend. If you get excess glue on there, wipe it off with a damp paper towel. It's super easy. Oh, see, sometimes I think this heat gun sounds loud, and other times it doesn't seem to be so loud. But it works like a charm. So if you guys are looking for one, I think my husband grabbed this one at Home Depot after we burned up one in a boot camp. So this one works like a charm for the Woodubend. All right, so just that quick, we've got 2 pieces on there. Let's get this next piece on there in our outline. A little bit of glue and some Woodubend, and we're going to be throwing some paint on here before you know it. All right. I know you guys love my hydraulic cart. Everybody loves my hydraulic lift table and always ask, where did it come from? It is actually from Harbor Freight. It holds up to 1,000 pounds, and I think it goes up to like 35.5 inches or something like that. But I can tell you, I can unload a piece of furniture by myself out of the back of my husband's F-250 truck. So if you guys have back problems or something, I highly recommend this, because this makes all of the difference in the world in moving furniture. Ask anybody that's been to boot camp. They will tell you it's the bomb diggity. All right, you see how quick this starts tacking up. I put it up there, and you can see I'm holding it with my fingers. You don't have to get it with tongs or anything like that. Now, some of you guys may heat yours up hotter, but I don't even need mine to be that hot, and it goes right on here, tacks up really well. While it's still warm, I can move it around and adjust it so that it's within my outlines. Make sure it lines up with the one above it. All right, let's get this 4th one on here. All right, one more. I know you guys are looking forward to the Bells and Bow Tour this coming Sunday. If you haven't gotten your ticket, we still have some tickets left. We are going to have some fun. And you know, we've got great swag bags. Before I get off here tonight, I was going to show you guys, I got some recycled papers in, and they are the bomb diggity. I was going to actually do some decoupaging tonight, but what I wanted to decoupage was not where I thought it was. Do you guys ever do that? You lay things down and you think, dear gosh, what did I do with that? All right, so we're going to put this one back up where it needs to be, inside our outline. There we go. Make sure it lines up with the one above it. Take our damp cloth and wipe around where I dragged it all over the front of the piece. All right. Okie dokie. All right. Now, we're going to heat this up so that it starts the drying process of the glue. It's already, because the piece is warm, when I apply the glue, the tack process already starts taking place. So it's not like you're having to do anything extra and everything. Now, if you put this heat gun too close, you can very easily scorch your Woodubend. Don't stress about it. I've done it. It doesn't change anything about the way it paints or anything like that. So I'm just telling you, if there's a mistake to be made, I'm sure I've already made it. So don't stress about it. But I will tell you, don't assume that your piece is flat on the front. Just because it looks flat, odds are when you lay that piece of Woodubend on there, when it's warm, you're going to feel it bend. You're going to notice it bending right away. Okay, so we're going to cut this on cool. Get rid of this noise. All right, we're going to let that cool. Now, what I was going to show you is, even though I just applied this, I can go ahead and, well, shut up my glue, first thing. I can go ahead and start painting this piece. Now, this piece, I base coated it with driftwood, Dixie Belle's driftwood, because I really thought that was the direction I wanted to go with it. But you know, if you've heard me talk, you know that I really believe that furniture talks to me, even though that sounds crazy. So I got these in from D. Lawless Hardware, which is also a sponsor of the Dixie Belle Tour. And I got to tell you, I am so in love with these that these are the colors that I've decided to use on this piece. So I am going to base coat it again with my Woodubend in place, and I am going to use some of the sandbar, Dixie Belle sandbar. And we're going to start with Dixie Belle sandbar over this, and then I'm going to add the colors from this. See how pretty those colors are? We're going to add that to it because I really want, and now I want you to look, those lines that I did not cover up, as soon as this water-based product hits them, and they just fade right away. And I know everybody's going to say, why don't you take your drawers out? Because I found that it's easier for me to paint them in place, especially if I'm going to add other colors like I am on this piece. Tonight I just wanted to show you how we got the Woodubend on there, and I wanted to show you a quick little base coat over it. I think a lot of people think all I do is spray my base coats, which they're right most of the time. Because, you know, it'll take me how long to base coat this dresser with a brush, whereas it takes 5 minutes with a sprayer, especially if you've got a good sprayer. So there's that. But I wanted to show you guys, when you put your Woodubend on, I've seen people say, wait this long, wait that long, or whatever. I wanted you to see, you can paint over it absolutely immediately. I mean, immediately. There's no curing time that it has to sit before you can put paint on it. And it really paints up beautifully. I mean, beautifully. And it adds so much to your piece. So if you haven't tried Woodubend, a lot of the Dixie Belle retailers have it in stock. And it's just one of those things that you'll like it. Now, if you happen to notice that your piece is that your Woodubend doesn't adhere, or sometimes if you break it, heat it back up and push it together. It's really easy to fix. Throw your little wood glue on there and you're good to go. If you use something that you notice it didn't adhere well, or you didn't get it up against your piece as well as you'd like, you can always use, just heat it back up and press it down. It's very easy to use. It's very user friendly. You can tell I'm a computer programmer. It's very user-friendly, so it's super simple for you to use. And, I mean, that's just, I just wanted you to see how quick and easy it is. And you don't have to wait. We just go ahead and get it done. You know, you just go ahead and add it to it. And so many times you have a piece like this little piece that is a cute little piece, but it really doesn't have all those attributes that you would like. And so we're just going to go ahead and fix this up. And actually, this piece right here may be going back to Texas. I don't know if you guys realize, but my mother-in-law and father-in-law had lost everything in Imelda for the second time in a couple years. So while we were out there for my mother-in-law's memorial service, we decided what kind of furniture I need to get painted for my father-in-law so that we can furnish his house again. So this one is probably going to go back to Beaumont out there. Be in a guest bedroom for my father-in-law. He will love that. And it'll be nice and pretty in his new place, because they are going to be getting that in place in the next 30 days or so. And one of my sweet Dixie Belle friends, she and her husband have actually donated a table and chairs to them. So I am very excited. And yes, I still call it them because hard to believe that it's not a them anymore. But all right, so you guys can see that Woodubend takes the paint just as well, if not better, than my existing nightstand. We're going to go ahead and get this done. And I will probably try to go live on here tomorrow night. I usually keep my grandsons on Tuesday night for a little while their parents go to small group for church. But we will try to jump back on here tomorrow night so you guys can see what else I'm going to do with these, because I will have this base coat dry by then. I appreciate everybody watching. I am misting my brush with water, and this is a Dixie Belle small oval brush. As you can tell, it's been well used. It's one of my favorites. And especially because I'm probably going to do a little bit of a blend on this, it will definitely come in handy when I start doing that. But as far as getting your paint on, Dixie Belle brushes to me are the best ones on the market. I really, really love them. And they came out with a new brush, a Dixie Belle French tip. And I have it on good authority that there may be one or two given away tonight because I got some extras to thank everybody for following me at 44 Marketplace. So I am going to put up a post and give away a couple of Dixie Belle French tips. And we are going to have them also in New Jersey this weekend at the Belle and Bow Tour on Sunday. So there you go. There's where we are, and I will update you tomorrow. Thank you.